Well, I've got award-winning comedian Mickey Bell, who performed over 250 shows last year.
Yes.
How the heck does that happen? And he's a passionate advocate for mental health awareness, using his set as a platform to help others find laughter through their pain. And he's here with a little sneak peek of his upcoming performance. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I want to thank this station for allowing Jordan to be the one that interviews
Oh no, why?
Because normally, I get passed off to whoever doesn't want to, I don't get the favorite person, and David's fine, but I mean, I get the best. David's over there eating. And
yeah, we're just a little, I think we're just jealous, right?
I think it is.
David, save me some of that.
I feel like I got the best.
Oh, you got it right. So talk a little bit about, so I mentioned the mental health aspect, because that's kind of unique. You don't really hear that a lot with comedians. So why was that important for you to incorporate?
When I first started doing comedy, I realized that what comedy does, it allows you to tear down walls.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what type of comedian you are. Name your favorite comedian, when they help you laugh, tears down walls.
Right.
My thing was, okay, what am I going to put inside of there once that wall's torn down? And so I had a mental health scare, and I hit rock bottom, and I had to fight my way back. I spent a year of not being able to go out in public. I had an anxiety where I could not be around people.
Right.
And so people asked, how are you able to sit here today?
Right.
Well, I'm medicated.
And laughter helps.
Exactly. But I just, I started seeing that we needed to talk about that.
Right.
More. And so we use laughter to tear down that wall. People open up, and then I'm able to encourage them when it comes to their mental health.
Yeah, it kind of brings down that guard, the guard that they may have up. So would you say you're a clean comic as well?
Absolutely.
Then? Okay.
I say that, and I told Leroy this earlier, I say that I don't cuss.
Okay.
I think it.
Yeah, right. I think we all do, right, at times?
I just try not to say it.
Right, right. And so how would you describe, other than the mental health aspect and the clean aspect, how would you describe your style of comedy?
It's a lot of observational, but I have a warped way of thinking. Because I was raised in the independent, fundamental, King James Version only Baptist home.
Gotcha.
So I'm looking at things a little different, because we weren't raised to know about comedians. We couldn't listen to any secular music. Everything was real strict, right?
Okay.
So when you look at things from that perspective as an adult in Jacksonville, Florida, you get a different perspective, and it's unique and it's fun.
Well, I'm sure a lot of it can be relatable too, especially when you're in the South here in the Bible Belt area.
Very much so. And then when you go up north, like when I go to Iowa, all I have to do with this accent is stand up there and
talk
ABCs, and they're like hilarious.
They get a kick out of that, right? So when did you realize you wanted to be a comedian? At what age would you say?
That's interesting. I started during COVID.
Oh, did you really? So this is fairly new.
It's fairly new. I was a pastor of a church.
Oh, okay.
And because of my mental health issues and the emotional instability that I had, I made some decisions that got me fired. And so when they fired me as a church, I had to do something to provide for my family. I didn't know what that was going to be. I always interjected humor. It's always been a part of my life. A lot of it to deflect pain.
And I've heard that. A lot of comedians actually they use
every
that.
one of them.
Okay, wow.
And I use that to deflect pain. And so now God's enabling me to go around and encourage people. And I just get on stage and talk. I mean, people are like, how do you perform this? I just get on stage and just say what hits me. Now it gets me in trouble because I don't have a filter.
Right.
But I just, you just get on stage and just talk about what the world looks like through these eyes.
Right.
And it can be quite hilarious.
Now, would you say that you have always had a great sense of humor, or always been funny, like class clown?
I've always been on stage. When I was in school, I was the 10th grader in school that was emceeing the spring beauty pageant.
Oh, gosh.
So I was always on stage.
Cute.
I was always doing stuff.
Right.
I was probably introducing you to come out and get the crown.
There you
Not
go.
David, but you would come out and get
I get the crown. He gets the barbecue. I get the crown.
David gets the meat. You get the crown. So, so that's how we would do things. But no, it was just, I've always been that person. I've always been the energetic person, and always trying to make sure that people had a good day.
Well, where can we follow you?
The Mickey Bell, T-H-E, and that's because when I started, MickeyBell.com was taken, so I had to go with something else, and they wanted too much for it. I think they wanted like $35 for it, and I couldn't afford it. So the Mickey Bell, all socials, everything. We talk about religious stuff, we talk about the world, we just talk about life and how you can enjoy it even though you battle mental illness.
Well, thank you so much. One more time, where you're going to be performing, and it's tonight.
I have no idea. It's
He's traveling.
Some
Is it?
church. Thank
The
you.
Church of Christ?
San Jose.
San Jose Church of Christ.
Thank you, David.
With over 250 shows a year,
I didn't even know what state I was in.
Right?
Mickey, thank
We'll
you.
be in South Georgia right
Right, yeah, with that accent. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
And it was great to meet you. Safe travels on all your shows that you've got coming up.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.